Historical Friction, the penultimate episode in the Friendship arc, as I call it. Yes, I know most of you call it by the name given to the Steven bomb that it was part of, but I don't do that. Please stop telling me in the comments. This episode can only be described as a well-needed reprieve. This arc has been pretty tense so far. Even episodes that weren't immediately about the tension between Garnet and Pearl have carried a little bit of that tension into them, and this episode is no exception to that, but it's lesser than any of the others so far in the arc. This episode, at its basis, is about Steven helping Jamie, the male guy, to put on a play written by Mayor Dewey about his ancestor, William Dewey, who was a captain in colonial times who discovered the region. In fact, he was the man who originally settled Beach City about 200 years ago. However, going over the script that Mayor Dewey wrote, Captain Dewey is presented as this supernaturally perfect figure who even has the power to grow to giant size. And both Jamie and Steven are rightfully disappointed by this because it's no fun to play a character who doesn't have flaws. So Steven takes the script back home and he's talking to Pearl about it, and she actually knew William Dewey. She was there. And so she makes corrections to the script to make it a little bit more accurate to what actually happened. Steven added some humor, and voila, we actually get to see the play, and it's actually pretty good. The entire town loves it as well, so even though changes were made to Mayor Dewey's vision, everything still works out for him, and Jamie becomes the new director of the community theater. All around a happy little episode. I wouldn't say it's near the top of my list of favorites, but I definitely enjoy it. And it does still have some very meaningful moments. That scene where Steven shows the script to Pearl and they sit there together talking, Pearl is still feeling bad for what she did to Garnet. Rightfully so. She should still be feeling bad about what she did to Garnet. But she's almost at a point where she's given up on the two of them ever having the same kind of relationship that they used to. But something that Steven says about how it's carrying on despite the mistakes that we make that make us great inspires her. And after that, throughout the entire rest of the episode, you can see her spirits visibly lift. We also get to see, I put that in quotes because we don't really see it, it's more of Jamie and Steven's interpretation of it, but we get to see something that may or may not be the temple fusion. That's still a little up in the air, but I definitely think that it might be, and I find that very interesting. Overall, a very low-key episode that still contributed to the story of this arc, and served as a bit of downtime before the finale in the episode titled Friendship, which I will be reviewing tomorrow and will have up on Friday. However, this Thursday, the day that this video is going to go up, is also, if I'm not mistaken, the day that Gem Harvest is going to be airing, a new episode of Steven Universe. And I know it hasn't been that long since the last new episode, but it definitely feels like a long time, so I'm really looking forward to that. I will, of course, also be reviewing and posting the review of Gem Harvest on that Friday as well, but I am still definitely going to get that Friendship review up for you guys too. That is the last episode I have in my backlog of Steven Universe reviews. Once it is done, I can finally move on to reviewing Gravity Falls, and you have no idea how much I'm looking forward to that. As per usual, guys, I ask, what did you think of this episode? Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below. Either way, this has been AJ22, and I will talk to you guys later.
Boom! Ah, acting!